Brought to you by Mom Well Care Kit.
First of all, recognize that you're doing a great job. So that's what I want people to know. You're doing a great job right now. And one of the things, they just have their own standards. Because if you cheat, guess what? You're a cheater.
Yeah.
You lie, guess what?
You're a liar.
You don't make me a liar because you lying.
Yeah.
And true.
You're a
Very fact.
person because you being trifling under me. So there are some men who have a standard and level of integrity who are like, I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be that.
Hey guys, we're done. Welcome back to Thedford. I'm the host, Thedford, and my beautiful wife, Trina here. Well, I'm not gonna get time wasted. We are still sitting here with Lenora King.
Yes.
Part of our series, World's a Motherhood, a Mel King story. It's an amazing story, as you share with us. Some really wild things that have happened on the road to motherhood.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I like about Lenora's story. She's not afraid to be vulnerable. And I think we all need to express a little positive, productive.
Yeah. You know, I think transparency is very important. I think people like that. I think people at home want to see that. You know, we always talk about living well, and when I think when we say the word live well, something that people have to see. You can't just say it. You have to show how it actually manifests in the life.
And how are you living well in the midst of that?
All right, on your way to that part.
Because everybody online, you know, they're living in that slide.
Oh, the Instagram life.
Yeah.
The TikTok one. You know?
Most of that is in real. So they feel you well, you list of your statements like, you know, the radical candidate. Man, you know, I call it I think I told you Masfinados.
Yes.
Transparency leads to freedom. It's straight talk, it's the fear of speaking.
There you go.
You can't say I never told you.
Right, you can't say I never told
Can't say I never told
So you said straight talk leads to understanding. Leads to clear understanding. Straight talk.
Answer you what you experience to freedom.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. So let's continue on. So I remember we talked about you in Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore. And how you found your artistry. You found your voice. Literally your singing voice and everything. And it also allowed you to conquer situations that you were afraid of before. It started to mold you, you know, as a woman. So from Baltimore, where does that take us then?
So I've always been a bit transient.
A bit transient, but doesn't that kind of sound with me a New Yorker in a way?
Yeah.
I don't do that. Yeah, New Yorkers are just kind of transient in a way. You know, maybe the transient.
Travel light.
Something like people travel like.
I used to say I didn't like when people say, "Oh, you're a gypsy."
I know, yeah.
That is like that, and so I'd be like, for thank you to feel like
Nomad, yeah.
Hurts.
it's a super term. And at the end of the day, you know, even now, I'm feeding with shout out to Kelsey. He's like, I'm a global citizen. And I said,
Okay.
I used to always say that.
Yeah.
And I said, really, that's who I am. You know, I said, I'm going to be one of the lack about this reason. I'm going to be that mysterious stranger who just sweeps around the world. That's me.
You just never frolic.
I'm just going to be, you know, it really just had to do with the fact that I was comfortable to have that. And then I, even with my parents, we were moving around right after elementary.
Right. For
Then I was going on my own, one state to another state.
Do you think that you got that from your parents, from the licensed parents? Why you was moving around so much? Was it a learned behavior, or?
I'll say honestly, it's funny because like my sisters, this is how you know that that similar experiences affect people different.
So yeah.
Because my sister, she helped stand you and I stayed at the neighborhood. She lived in the Boulder. I lived in one that I was supposed. I was supposed to leave. They live in Jersey now.
Yeah.
Right.
But a big part of why they did it was like, this is what we get.
Yeah.
It's the routine. I'm not uprooted. Like children, I'm not uprooted. You know, I was able to do that because for so long I didn't have children.
Right.
Me,
Right.
it was, you know, my dream. I'm an artist. You know, I can
Wow, that's pretty.
So on your road, on the road to mother.
You know, you mentioned the photographs. You mentioned the photographs. Are you talking photographs at home?
What the?
Oh, wow. Okay, you are hugged up. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, oh, about the photographs out there.
It's classic Harlem.
Oh, this classic Harlem, right? So they just play the basketball game, the Ruckus and everything. Oh, yeah.
You know, all of those things. And so it basically, it was easy for me because I think I was like, I'm going to this state. I'll be back. I'll stay with my sister the months and then, you know, I'll go stay with my mom and boyfriend. I'll go, you know, it was okay because I felt like I'm an artist and I usually influence something.
Yeah.
You know?
That was okay to me. Most artists had that. They were okay to do it around, but we also get criticized. People ask me, why are you doing so many criticisms? Why are you so many? You know, I'm like, I can't even really explain that. It's nothing dark or weird. It's just, I need to see other things. I kind of outgrown this and I'm exploring. And then the more I explore, the deeper my artistry. Yes.
You always become as an artist.
Yeah.
Right? You always become him. And you're seeing the same things that just stagnate. You know, artistry stagnates. You feel kind of boxed in. You feel in terms of what you're able to do, what you're capable of.
Right.
I saw my mother, my sisters, my brother, ultimately married, had children. So that's something I knew I wanted to do at some point. Yeah, I always knew I wanted to do in my back.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be like, I'm gonna have 7 sons.
7 sons. Wow. Let that there.
It's like
That's
a movie.
wow, 7 sons. That is crazy. So even though you had such a rough childhood, you still want to be a family.
Yeah, because in my mind, I was like, I felt like I still wanted something.
Yeah.
Especially after I started working with the children, with my phones, and
Right.
the response I would get from them. Young people always there. They were always support mentees. Yeah, shout out to Sierra, see Vincent.
Okay.
I started mentoring her at like 14 weeks.
No.
Then now she's in her 30s, and it's recently hired as a habit company I've worked at. And this
Wow.
Still healthy. Still peace out.
And when you do that, I mean, I ask you, is it therapeutic for you to help these kids, or do you sometimes is it draining for you sometimes in the sense that you remember the flashbacks of things that you've been through, you know, and I mean, how does it affect you?
part of it was I didn't like to be liked.
Okay.
And I didn't like to be treated like I was stupid, like I didn't, you know, because I knew that I understood a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, to give you credit.
Kids really hate that.
They need hands a lot of times. Exactly. And I did. And so I guess the way that I was dealt with them is still tough is sit there and say,
Right.
you want them to do? Not what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
What? Because and I would tell them, listen, this I know the 7-year-old girl sort of iced tea or her lemonade. It's all foods and you feel familiar. So you don't have to wait to grow up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got to figure out now.
No.
And you have to separate your being from who your parents are were.
Yeah.
You know, because you can love them because that was the thing.
Right.
You get so caught up
Right.
with what they did wrong, what they didn't get right.
Exactly. You have all that weight on you.
Yeah.
And you want that to define you. And you can't let that define you. I mean, respect to all mothers and fathers. You know, but at the same time, you can't let that, your mother, what they did is what they do. You know, you have your own life and you have to, and that's hard to sometimes separate, I guess, for a young person. But I guess it's so incredible. Yeah, at the beginning, but that is a developing stage.
Exactly.
You know, and your already might wasn't how exactly.
Yeah.
It was like, I want to empower you at a early age. And I have nieces and nephews, and I used to do that all the time. And they would be like,
Right.
And so that I was like,
Lord.
because I know I'm a mother, like on the inside.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I really love young people and I want to relate.
But you're also an artist.
Yeah.
So you're on the road to motherhood. Yeah. As an artist. So there was a dream of I'm gonna have 7 kids. But what really happened?
So as we do that, debuting. And I was tripping. I don't think I've been able to. I have one right now. He got the head spinning.
But how did your one come about?
Yeah.
Artist, you were in Los Angeles?
I was in Los Angeles.
Where are you using
So the way that even Los Angeles did about, I was working with kids and you
Yes.
had a place called Boys there.
Voice? Was it kind of like a group home kind of?
Yeah. I was actually doing a couple of things. I was doing entertainment for education, this program called I Regraduated. So I was teaching in a bunch of schools in New York. Programs, everything from step instruction to why rap is you're recording your fitness program, you write songs. I was working. The last school that I was in, it was the Purple Academy, Life Academy for Film and Music.
Life Academy of Film Music.
Yeah, and then I got introduced to voice now. Trying to do the both for a bit. And so,
About how old was you at this time? About how old?
this time, this was 2014. Okay.
Yeah.
11 years ago. And I started working with voice now. I was there for a few months, and that's when I moved to the Bronx.
Okay.
And in the same week, I found that they had sold my place in the building where everyone had to know. And then I got 86 with 86 other people from Boys Town.
They removed them. For those that know what 86 is,
You get cut.
you got cut. You got
Removed.
You got 86.
Songs, yeah.
And they were saying, if you find another job at another one of our locations, we'll relocate you there because there was a layoff. It wasn't like fire.
Yeah.
They had changed contracts. And that really wouldn't happen unless you hire an executive.
Yeah.
Pay for your invasion. And I said, I'm moving to California. I literally said it.
I'm moving to California. It's an advantage. Yeah.
They had offices there. So I took advantage. I moved to California. I'm doing very, you got a convertible.
Oh, wow. You doing California.
Yes.
That's your first time?
Initially, yeah, my first
Okay.
time. I just started there, but my first time working there.
Okay.
I had come for like Grammy and things like that. Meetings. And so I moved. Initially I was in Orange County for a few months, and I was like, is that still a word, obviously? I was like, this is not supposed to be going to see the you're lucky to be. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Orange County is not LA.
No.
Shout out to Orange County. But you're not LA. You're Orange County. Keep it real. You're Orange County. You're not LA. I agree. I totally agree.
So then I moved to LA.
Yeah.
For a few months. I got out there the 15th, basically 2015 September.
Okay.
That's when I was mentioning my father passed in October, and like everything just was down for me because I'm mourning. I can hear there's like fear here.
And sunny days, but the dark days at the same time.
So I make my way to LA. I was doing a few days, and shout out to Jason's Derulo. I did a Jason Derulo video.
Jason Derulo.
Tweet.
Okay.
That was like when I first got out there, so I was feeling like
Okay. So you were doing music. Oh, so you just paint this picture.
Yeah.
You had a convertible. You're doing music.
I'm listening to videos. I'm feeling like, it's like candy.
Right. You're living your best. Your life is like a soundtrack. Your life is good right now. Okay. I got it.
I was really feeling it. And then I get there and so after my dad got like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
From October to February.
Yes. Understandable.
February was when I moved to LA.
Yeah.
And so I hear my spirit walk to the gym.
Because LA doesn't play that.
That's why they're not for that.
I've had family members come out to LA. You have paid ways. I just don't feel excited. I don't like doing it. I don't always feel it.
LA is a place, it's a show, right? It's a visual place. It's Hollywood, I mean, I think even pretty girls feel pressure in LA. They live in Kansas. They go to, let's just say they go to high school. They're the prom queen. When they get to LA, they're like everybody's a prom queen. Everybody's a prom queen, So it's a humbling place.
Yeah. So I get there, and I walk to the gym, and I was feeling really kind of ugly. And I walk to the gym, and I see these two friends. They like about to walk to the gym. I'm like, "Girl, you cannot be just walking over. You got okay. Next time you're in the gym,
Okay, okay.
We're in, and there is this man, yeah, huh? And there was like this energy between us and closely.
That's your baby. That was your baby.
So that's don't have a story. That's the part of the story. And I mean, I don't be very vulnerable. Okay, because that's the part of the story.
Okay.
Okay. So we meet. He ends up having because he's technically he's a personal trainer, but there at Bolts, this is Bolts.
Okay, but this is how I like that. Oh, North Hollywood. North Hollywood. Oh, those not bad.
He's technically there in the status, and he's like a specialist where they help you to get through.
Some of the guys always do that. They always think fitness training is personal trainers that end up getting the girls like that. I mean,
It's a nice fantasy.
She had the fantasy. I mean, so that she's a man married, but she got with the fantasy.
I did, but the fantasy ended up being a blessing for me. So he talked to me. I tell him that they were going through about that. This conversation was fine. And I was like, yeah, just that. Yeah, like, I was like, I just want to be out there. I just want to go hiking. He's like, you want to go hiking? And I was like, he's like, let's go hiking. We'll go hiking or Marky. He's technically not the person you're training.
Right.
But I'm like, okay. And I just moved to Cali. I'm like,
wow, what a first line to get someone. I'm gonna try the crying technique. I want to be together. And then you get a date. And you get a date.
Because never like to like be needed.
Of course, yes.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm glad that you mentioned that. That was something that I wasn't used to.
Right, for you growing up.
Not used to going to the dairy. Yeah, that's my father's heart.
Right.
That wasn't something that he did. And I'm used to having to do it myself and seeing my mother having to do it herself. Even like it wasn't until I was older that when she married Daddy James, bless his heart, that's his soul. He was the man's man. Like he was the man. She ain't have to work.
Right. I got that. Let me grab that for you. Let me grab that for you.
Like, look.
That's how you are.
Yeah.
With that voice.
With the,
to work at these like you want to have life. Yeah.
Right.
Different age. So,
That's beautiful.
that means I'm only working when I want to and because I want to and not because if I don't like something. So long story short, he and I started dating and he started hiking and I started getting healthy and he at first in Southern California Health Institute to get from the trainer.
Okay.
That's how I found out about it. And we were kind of dealing with each other and I'm losing all of this weight. And then, it turned out, he wasn't I fell in love with him.
Right.
But he wasn't very serious and cheated.
Okay. Okay.
do you think that comes with the personal trainer, yo? I mean,
I think it comes with the person.
Yeah.
And the person.
Because there are some that I don't believe they're all new sheet. There's some people who they just have their own standards. Because if you cheat, guess what? You're a cheater.
Yeah.
You lie, guess what?
You're a liar.
You don't make me a liar because you lying.
Yeah.
It's true. That's fact.
Person because you being trifling to me. So there are some men who have a standard and level of integrity who are like, I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be that. I don't want to put that out there. And listen, if you fired, it's very hard. I get it. At the same time, that just makes you that much better. Yeah, because I dated this beautiful man that he was like that. And I was in Baltimore actually. And I'm like, that miserable with man, I'm gonna leave there. Well, when you like you ever get defense. Yeah. But when like you always try to find a little fun.
What's wrong with that? I mean,
Everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong.
They do not try to find yourself a fun.
really? You don't have to find some fun, man.
If you have if you come across a fur man that has all these things going, but you can't have a sin for it because then you get puff.
Find their cheat and find
So good looking man is a red flag.
I don't.
Well, I'll say this, and I'm
I'm just trying to get it right.
I brought it up because of this one. It's very beautiful. Well, he had a great level of integrity. Yeah.
Okay.
And he used to say, he said, it's and not only is he beautiful, but he's fun. He knows himself. And he doesn't like a man.
And knows himself.
Knows himself. Yeah. When he says, it's like having a key that could just open every door. Yeah. He said, you don't open every door of this thing. Because when you don't know what's on the other side, you have to be responsible. You don't know what's on the other side of that. That's why some men have women, what's the name, windows and And Derek chilling,
That's true.
trying to trap him and get him pregnant. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, you got I watch my TikTok tonight. I see it. I see it. On TikTok.
Hey, you got to be responsible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, he ended up, I was like, I already did it.
Uh-huh.
But I took what I learned from him, and I just was 50. When I say I was taking a journey, I was in like the best shape of my life, and I decided to go.
Wow.
And I went to Southern California Health Institute because I knew about it.
Wow.
And that's where I got certified, master certified personal trainer for this nutrition specialist, for exercise, all these things.
Yeah, this is amazing. Let's get so much to Jules.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So you think so you met this guy. You was at a low. You were feeling when you met him. You know what I'm saying? Because of your father would have been there and everything. And then you plead your heart out to this man on the first introduction, more or less, right? Right? And you know, he like, and it worked. And it works, you know.
Wow.
So y'all tell me in the comments if you guys try that.
Does that work?
You know.
I think it works.
But what happens from there, what she tells us, is that she falls in love with this guy. She's losing weight. She's in the gym.
Yeah.
This guy's helping build her confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like kind of building the corners high. Right. And so you're losing weight. You're spending time with this person. You're sweating. He's seeing you at your vulnerability stage.
Yes.
He's your personal trainer. He's into you and your vulnerability, your flaws. He knows everything.
And I will say, listen, it does go both ways. Because initially when I saw him, I was like, you're dope. I said, you should be doing. So I started doing like marketing for him. And,
Okay.
Things just fam like, you doing this personal training thing?
Right.
In the internet. Oh, Jesus. So you were doing that.
Right.
And then finally I was like, you need to go to Thedford.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to be with
Where the players are.
that.
Where it's really going on. Right.
And I'm motivated. Yeah. You know, to hear that. And we're now. Like, we're friends.
Yeah.
Right.
He ended up doing that and taking that whole thing over. Like, really
Wow.
started celebrity training and all of
So really you're telling me that even though he would find out he's a cheater later on, usually what happens at that stage, I know what would happen for me, you know, if it was a woman, female trainer, not a male trainer.
Yeah.
I probably would have started gaining weight again. I would have started stress eating. I probably would have went into the depression. And you didn't.
No.
I think a lot of these
She did training.
yo, she kept her training.
Yeah, I didn't cut.
And she would go to Southern California Health Institute.
Yeah, I took it to the next level.
She took it slow.
So there was a part of me that was like, first of all, you're like,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not allowing
Yeah.
that to happen.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to become like my best.
Yeah.
I was like,
Absolutely.
I'm dancing more. I started posting us on dancing against.
Oh, you took the confidence going.
That's how you fight.
On a breakup. On a breakup, you kept the confidence going.
On a
That's
breakup,
remarkable.
you either land dead or you have to just start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and take
Yeah.
my. And I think exercise in the gym work is one of the best ways. It's the best. You can meditate. You can think.
Yeah.
Angry, you can pound it out, and you're like, "Oh, I get a little bit when I angry."
Better than you and me, I feel better.
Yes, serotonin is a real thing.
Yes, changes your mood. You're happier. Start to think, yeah,
And then you start seeing yourself like, okay,
but yeah, then you were like getting fine. So it gets, and you'll say, "Well, okay." Like,
Yeah, right. The world says different, so I'm good.
So I'm good.
I'm good.
And so at that time, I'm working. I was working into different transitional facilities for women and children.
At that time.
At that time,
Okay.
I started showing similar people. We're not.
Right. Does this when you first started working with kids and everything at this time?
Because remember, I was doing custodian services.
Okay. So you was doing it, right.
But now it's kind of moving towards adults and children.
Okay. Okay.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a career. Now,
Yeah.
We career levels now, yeah.
Realize that because
so it was your career.
yeah, it was working with children and in services. So I already did my thing, but now I'm actually there are structures that are different and I'm adult to.
Okay.
But it's also playing into the mother side of me as well. I'm seeing mothers and their children. the greatest turmoils, you know, when the cars is did show the females, when they, you know, had 10 children,
Wow.
was living inside the house at the get them. Oh my God.
I could.
Women who had been abused and, you know, all these things. And then with the other kids I was hearing, I was going to sober with it. So there's still transitioning and bulletin policies, but also addiction of some sort. And that one was very interesting. More. Because it spared cultures. Right? Yeah, rich white women.
Right.
You know, middle class black women. You have lower class black women, white women, and Hispanic women.
When you ran into these mothers in need, was this a situation where there was addiction involved? Was it more domestic violence?
What brought a lot of the mothers to that space? So in the first place, shout out to Alexandria House. It's one of the only women transition facilities in Los Angeles.
Okay. Wow. Is that in downtown LA or?
In downtown LA.
Okay.
And so those women are coming from a lot of things. Mostly those women are in transit. They're coming from homelessness. They're coming from abuse, right? So that one wasn't a silver woman. I'm sure they modified.
These problems are affecting everyone. They're affecting society.
Exactly. But with Muriel's house, the distance was, that's a sober living, so a lot of those people were abandoned. So you got to do that because you want to jail if you don't do it right. Now you're not going to get your food.
Yeah.
So that's it. And I think that's why there was such a wider variety of types of things. Because with Alexandria, I was supposed to go one you over, you know, below the poverty.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it.
Navigating motherhood is so hard. And it was getting to be able to have to do it below the poverty line. It's tremendous.
Wow. So that it brought a lot of that as well. What I had dealt with as a therapy, dealt with transit, moving and shelters and some sort and different abuse and addiction. So I was able to get, I feel like bring what I had faced been through to the table. Also my experience of youth services and working with children for so many years. All of that. So that was wonderful. And there's also a feeling of part of me that wanted to be alone.
So suddenly you're doing all that. How do you find yourself conceiving?
Yeah. So fast forward. Actually, I was literally working at Mary's house when I met my son's father. So, as I mentioned, I stopped dealing with the dude finally. We tried back and forth.
Oh, so this ghost Jin Dai was the first relationship it went away.
In LA, yes.
Cheater.
Exactly.
Some relationships are just bridges.
Yeah.
I saw.
Forever.
Yeah. I mean, without you, and he went on to the other goals.
A lot of the things goals and listen, we draw to ourselves, you know, we are what we use.
Yes.
At different stages in our life.
True. I believe that.
And he's really a tremendous man. And he's not a bad guy. It is just at the time, he was just not a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so that was hard.
Yes. Yeah.
But we kept trying. But after the last time, it was just for me like too much. It's like, this is a whole other level of trifling.
Yeah.
And so I was just single. I had switched cars and I don't know that. Benz convertible. I'm that's body. I'm working in a I'm in LA. I'm recording. So it's like, okay, this is what I came here for. I didn't come to be all stressed out. I said,
Exactly.
this is what I came here for. I'm thinking into that.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine, during it's actually the day before the 4th of July. He was about to have. It's a July 30th.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, hey, we're out. Not too far from the house. I lived in North Hollywood. He's like, we're out at the bar. You should come out. And I'm like, I'm just going off for work. And he's like, oh, you should just come. So now this was crazy because I know what my son was supposed to be in the world. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I had borrowed a grill from my job because I was going to do something at my house the next day. So I had that in my car. I'm like, I'm just going to stop for a few moments. So I hopped out. And as I'm crossing the street to go to the bar, this guy is just walking past the car And the bar was one of those places where they're inside, but the whole thing is open. So there's like something holding him in there, but it's still communicating. So as he's walking by, and I'm coming across the street, my friend who invited me there sees him and is like, yo, what's up? I haven't seen you in so long. I know they're happy. So he's saying that to him. I'm walking up and I just notice like his back. And I was like, hey, okay. And then my friend was like, oh, Nora, you here? So I'm like, yeah, I'm coming in. I didn't even stop saying that. Yeah. So I come in, I'm showing up my friends. He's like, I gotta leave. So he left. Comes back a few hours later. I mean, like an hour later, when after they're chilling and drinking. And I guess he was just kind of in my face. Yeah. And he's like, y'all should come to my studio. Glorious. So my friend who's known him for some time was like, yep, let's just all go. So we go to his studio, and he and I just started talking. Yeah. Then we talked until, I think it was like 4 o'clock. I love all the fun. To the point where my friends were there were like, we gotta go. Yeah. We gotta go. We can go. It's time to go. I remember when we were leaving, and I know now, he knew Marty America.
Yeah. I think we fall in love a lot of times. There's things that sort of similarly will remind you or have a quality that reminded you of somebody. And sometimes usually something good about that person that you adore. Exactly.
Wow. He reminded me of my dad, but I didn't even hit up on that so little.
Yeah.
And then as he walks us to the car, he had like this puppy dog face that I would leave it. He's like, I know you're journey, usually in the night, it's a fight. He's like,
no, we're just so we're going to do the same. Don't want to sing. No, just say it now.
Okay.
Want to say what else? Okay. Hold on. One, two, three, four, five, go. Everybody else, ain't they being quick? This is what those you want to be now. Let's do this good. Just to be changing, look. One day. Also, Trace.
Ozzy was watching us.
He's one there.
He's the only one watching us. We're just playing around, Oscar.
Yeah, we just trying different social
medias. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we just listen to them.
Yeah.
I want to be here the whole conversation. I think you can.
I don't know. Oscar, can you hear us? I don't even know if he's there. He just said he's 6.
This is so funny. You guys are getting to be cookies there. Someday you're gonna be like, are you? It's
no, I'm loving it. Oh, actually, I tried that with no face trick. Don't be up the story so fast. Don't catch your face so good. No, because like this has to come into.
So why don't we let you do the question thing?
Okay.
And then I'll kind of I'll
follow up.
We'll react.
Okay. Okay. Because I want to
do the question.
If you also how building out, you do that.
Yeah, they're in the rider train.
Okay.
Yeah, school little pieces to this little.
Yeah, that's so. This post up.
You get my wife. Kind of gonna be white boy. Oh, it's a big.
You guys unplug something. Go back to TikTok, Gene. We're going to TikTok. The thing is, check it. Something. Let's check this. Yeah, is there a reception? Okay. Okay, thank you. Tell them to wait by the bar. Tell them to wait by the bar right next by reception. The bar right next to reception. Yeah, right there, right to the left of you. Thank you so much. Please. There's a. Oh no, he's working. There's a guy downstairs. Or we should bring him upstairs. So that meeting was in. His name is Jumanji. Okay, and he's been by the bar. He's asked for the. He's only sent me a picture of himself, but he sent me a picture. You have the clock, D? You clock? What's it? I gave him Trina and yeah. Okay. Dude, see that you got. And then he reminds you. I don't know what the like on his. Hold on.
I think he got things like that. She was licking it out.
She puts. She's sure about that like that. She's using it. She does that.
Good to know.
I mean, I go, Kim was kind of cool too. I look there like
That was so great that you guys had so much in common.
we know a lot of the same people.
Hey, moms and moms to be. This is Trina McGee, and I'm so super excited to tell you about a great, amazing opportunity. Well, first of all, have you ever just dreamed that someone would just send you a package just out of the blue because you're the mom and you want to feel loved? A package about you, about your wellness, about your journey as a mom or a mom to be. Well, that wish is about to come true with the Mom Well Care Kit. Girl, you better grab that phone, grab that laptop, that tablet, whatever you've got, and head on over to the website. That is your way to get the personalized care that you need. What are you waiting for? Just sign and click on the link below. It's all there for you, the Mom Well Care Kit, waiting to be sent to you, waiting to pamper you. Remember, you're the mom. You're the heartbeat of the family, and everybody needs you. So take care of yourself. Thanks. From me and from Mom Well, Trina McGee here.
So, you and him were talking to about 5 a.m. in the morning. Is that what you're telling me? That's a long. I mean, that means you guys were connected.
Yeah, someone I just met.
And then,
And so it was just, I know now it's because my son was missing. At the time, I was just kind of involved.
right.
And so then he ultimately became influential. He goes away for a few weeks until he started adding some of the talking.
Okay.
And then
Everything more so.
talking. And then he goes back to say, I want to talk about favorite places. Looking for my favorite food. Ethiopian.
Wow.
His face was Ethiopian food? Oh, wow. Okay.
I love Ethiopian.
I do too. We love you.
Love it.
It's the injera, the bread's injera. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in LA. That was good. Mapado. So he just kind of blew all up. So he calls up, hey, he has he raised a Roy, American.
Ooh.
He gets us to his football.
Nice.
He comes with gifts.
Comes with gifts.
Yeah.
Man with gifts is a man without.
On the first thing.
On the first day. Wow.
So I'm like, okay, this is nice. And so we had a great time. We just played. And we just stayed up talking.
Yeah.
And then we leave and we're walking and we're talking. And he's like, I'm thinking about getting, it's just, I'm telling my business sometimes. And we're going on revenue and transparency. Okay. So he gets an Airbnb. And a nice home. There's this pool, whole situation. And we just don't separate from each other from that day.
Wow.
Now, because I'm just good. Nothing happened initially the other night. Let me say that loud.
Oh, okay. Nothing happened on that night.
Nothing happened on that night. We swam, we talked, and just enjoyed this beautiful scenery. We just didn't want to eat each other.
Yeah.
So I'm digging that one thing. And then after we left there, we go back to my place a couple days later, and we're just together. Yeah.
So you guys stuck together. You guys
stuck together. So it became this 3-month whirlwind
romance
thing. And I started Airbnb my place out.
Wow, you like his place all the time.
Oh, because we're like Tracy. So what Airbnb these spaces now. Okay. Full transparency here. This is the story that I received.
Right.
He died of a relationship.
Exactly.
He was traveling. He was living with the person. He's not with them anymore, which is why he's staying in places. And these are nice places. So I'm thinking, okay, good. He can care about himself. He has his students, business, I'm not thinking that there's on the building situation. I'm just this guy. And he's one of those love bombing for sure. and I didn't really experience before. And having just come out of this situation is the other guy where I was just treated so badly.
Right.
Just
And we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that relationship.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, well, you do? Clearly night and day for you, right?
it was night and day,
Right.
and it was one where I was just devalued.
Right.
And I think because I was at a low base,
Yeah.
I was willing to take.
Right. And then to see this come along,
Yeah.
this is how they say your knight in shining armor.
So basically,
I mean, he's really giving you that experience.
exactly, and that's why you gotta be careful
Yeah.
because you want something,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're coming out of a situation where it's like, because when I met him, it's father, my son's father, I wasn't in a long place. I felt like I'm in a great place. So
Yeah.
doing my thing, I'm making our money, I'm healthy, I'm great. I just graduated from Sochi and
Mm-hmm. You feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
You're the bottom of your life right now.
Exactly. So I'm thinking that I'm enjoying this new level of, I should be treated like this. And I'm like, it's a bit fanciful, but it's like, maybe this is my life. I was 40. I'm 40 years old. I've never been married, never had children. I'm like, I prepared myself to look this good and be doing this well. I should need somebody who wants to treat me.
Absolutely.
And he had connections, and so we were doing things like, Comic-Con, like VIP Comic-Con. We always go and get an Airbnb in San Diego, do Comic-Con.
Oh, we love Comic-Con.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
What about that comic?
We're about to.
Yeah. and people loved him.
Yeah.
Very charismatic man.
Social guy.
Very. And I remember actually when we did Comic-Con, because we would live together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm a social butterfly in certain symbols and others. So I've been in situations with men who are comfortable with how I'm able to
Move around.
around the room.
Right.
And that's just so uncomfortable.
Right. You're like a virgin.
You can't be yourself, or you gotta sit with them all day.
You're the holy guy.
My body, yeah.
Right.
And so I remember we get there to this huge party. We see jitters in that industry, and they all know him because of the work that he had. And we're in this party like, should we go? And he goes back on our way. And we come back and we're hailing each other. And everybody's loving us.
Yeah.
Together and separately. And I remember we got in the car after it was older, and we both bust out, Mom.
Yeah.
It was like, that was so good. And I was in my mind, I'm like, yes.
Right.
This is this makes sense.
You guys can work alone.
Yeah, we work in the room, he's creative, I'm creative.
You're feeling that power, feeling like,
Yes. I'm like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. And so we did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my birthday was coming out. It's a big Catalina Island, so my girl. Nice. And on the boat, on the way back, actually we just got off the boat and said, "Doc, I went to the lady and like come out." And he says, "Why don't you just marry me?" Yeah.
What?
I'm like,
Now, how long you guys been seeing each other? It's
3 months.
3 months in. You're coming out the
He
bathroom.
whirlwinding. He traipsing. He's like,
3 months isn't bad to start talking.
I don't think it's bad. You know,
40.
And I think people should, honestly, even at 20.
well, let me ask this. Was he older or young?
He was older, so not much. He was 49 at the time.
Okay. So he's not here to play games.
Yeah,
He's not here to play games.
So thank you. That's the mindset that I was in.
Okay.
I'm glad, right? That's what I'm thinking.
So break it up with him, Trim.
I know.
So sorry.
How is it wrong with this guy?
Not only Brigitte, like everybody is in love with this guy. So was I.
Okay.
And and I remember when we were actually context all this fun. And one of his friends that come, because everybody was all, and one of his friends said to me, he said, "It's in the music." He said, "Don't lose yourself." That was what I'm saying. He said, just don't lose yourself. Mama, figure, that's everything, but knowing everything that happened afterwards, his past relationships and all the things. And I get why he said that to me. It was like his way of trying to like blink if you need help, like blink why you need help, and then because I know what could happen. I've seen this story. So I'm like, okay, but I'm thinking, look, I just turned 40 again. This man, I never had this experience. I've never felt seen love.
Right.
And, he's the guy who will be like, thrace around.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm already taking care of myself. It looks like he could take care of me as well. So it's not like this is far-fetched.
Correct.
And so I say, yeah. And he jumped in my base and he drives to Vegas. Get out of here. And we get married.
Wow. Oh my God. I mean, that is literally like a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
So when is the book coming out?
after that girl told her story, I'm like, yeah, no, I did. And this is not even that. So that happens. That's why in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God.
Was that your first time to Vegas?
No, I don't
Okay.
go to Vegas.
Okay.
I don't know what's supposed to be Vegas.
Was it definitely your first time not losing it? You were getting married in Vegas. So that's big.
My word was first time I was there, sure, but first, let me say not losing. Well, I still think those will work because my son is amazing.
Right. All right. I mean, what you, like I said, it sounds to me so far in your life, you made everything a win. You made everything work. You even bring it up with the guy with spoiler alert, brings up with the guy, but you won for that too.
It just, all of this was like,
Right.
no, it's not like I was 25. It's like, okay. And so I was like,
Right.
okay,
Exactly.
we're doing this.
So who was the first person you called when you were proud of your marriage?
You didn't tell me.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, so we get married. And I can say this, I'll say it accurate because it had seen people and say it. We get there was this couple, owned the child. So it wasn't like Elvis and they didn't see that. And they were just, again, they're like, Sheila, this is so great. And I'm just like, this is crazy, this is great. So I was nervous, but I was still like, and so we get married. Like, we got married on the 7th. The 8th, he had some business. He knew that he was doing that. He had to go to New York. So he gets to New York. And it's like, I want to eat your food. And now I'm not in New York. That's about it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Calls me from my sister's house.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's there. They're like, oh,
Are you serious?
we love him taking pictures on the video. And I'm just like,
This is a great guy.
right. I'm thinking,
Maybe great guys are red flags.
What?
Maybe great guys.
what, right. So I'm like, take those out. But we didn't tell him. He didn't tell him that we were married.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm
the boy. I'm a man. I'm a man.
you're a man. And I don't really introduce bring it to him like that. Like, because,
So now he's connected to your family. They know them. They know it's like.
my sisters love him. Mother-in-law is like, okay, I like this dude.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Wait till I tell y'all what's going on. Now, I already have plans to come to New York in a few weeks because my mom is having a party.
Okay.
So I planned on meeting him there. And so I get there, and then he does what he do on my face. Introduce me to everybody. And he's close friends.
Right.
It's like, all this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. So. And then fast forward, we get back home. Now, I posted a picture that they took on our wedding.
Yes.
Okay.
And I wasn't like in a dress, like in a wedding dress or anything, but we just looked so happy in this
Yeah.
picture.
Correct.
When I posted it, I guess somebody is like, nah, what's up? Yeah. So I started getting DMs, got a DM from son of woman's cousin.
What?
Calling me out my name.
No, are you serious?
Calling me first on the phone now.
What? Started reaching out because you posted the wedding picture you guys took in Vegas. And you guys are happy, excited, feeling good.
That's all crazy. So, what was going on?
What went through your head when
I'm like,
first got
what? It's going on here.
Yeah.
So, basically, she's saying that he just married this other person in February. at a wedding with this other person.
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
See the picture?
You saw the picture.
I didn't see the picture of them, but I saw like a wedding cake picture of that day, and people talking about, oh, you guys used to act and blah blah blah.
Can I tell you, that's breakdown in the bathtub, ceiling, bubbles.
Not coming at you. No, you did do a heavy crying. You finished. See the back.
Yeah.
At this point.
That's like women coming over to hold you up.
Right.
No, she. He was
Okay.
Making away with none of my family or friends.
Oh.
So I'm just, and I don't initially. Again, I didn't tell anyone initially, but when I went there for the party, for my mom's party, and everybody met him, and everybody loved him, we told them.
Yes.
Like, okay. And they're like, okay, this is crazy. This is wonderful. And again, he's doing the part at the bar.
He's it's for hey. I got this round. No worries.
I'm just like, I'm nervous because I'm like, this is so new and everybody knows. And but I'm still like, this is my life, baby. This is the story. I see you were that. Maybe this is it.
And he's publicizing it like there's no.
Yeah.
Did you ever confront him at this time?
So this was before you. And then everything happens later. So here's the story. This is the public thing.
Let's take your time. Take your time. But we taking this more. Well, you told us so far, this man is married to somebody else just a couple of months ago, prior to February.
And this was the one that she was living with. When it broke up.
Yeah, man.
And then it's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. He wasn't as broken up as he should have. He wasn't as broken up. Yeah. So basically, this is what it is. She inherently, this is what he told her. She inherently would say she was so, I know that for a fact. She had
Not the sick life story.
this case.
Yeah, you know now. I know. We're all on Nora's side,
But this is,
yeah.
it doesn't make the situation right. It's just what it was.
Okay.
So basically, they had been together for a certain amount of time. She got sick, and the story tells you. And so they didn't make it official, like the paperwork wasn't right. Yeah, they did have a ceremony. Okay. And that ceremony happened in February. So that ceremony happened in February. I don't care about nothing at all. You didn't have no business asking me now.
Right, paperwork or not. Technicalities don't.
You didn't have no business asking me to marry you and not so, because you asked me.
Right.
So you bring me into the middle of this madness that you know I know nothing about.
Right. Exactly.
I knew that you were both up out of the situation and that I knew that it was somewhat fresh. Like I think he had some months and what that happened. Sometimes you get people like phone on the right, phones take cigarettes. Yeah.
Exactly.
As long as you're not married, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But then I find out as it gets better.
Well, before you tell us the story, was he ever trying to get a divorce from that woman?
So basically, because the paperwork there was no actual divorce paperwork to be had with that situation.
Right, because the marriage, you say with the marriage part of them getting married was part.
It wasn't
That right, so there's no divorce to be like.
It wasn't official. It wasn't an official
record. Okay, but like the morality issue is like
that matter. What? It's a bad start. It's a bad start.
it's a bad start.
You know what that
I didn't even get a cake.
All right. And then you had to see a picture of it, cake, love. You had to see a picture of it. She's on receipts. She had receipts. Yeah, the lady, she had a cake. She didn't have a cake.
And so,
But, even though with all that, a lot of women would still be like, okay, well,
and I did.
yeah.
Because at this point, I know.
Right.
Exactly.
From you were pretty far. Yeah.
And that wasn't the case. And so that's what I've said to them since. I said, you didn't have to do that. Like, we were good.
Yeah.
We could have just been like,
I think you was
check Marty's and having and deciding if we want to be together or no. But we could have just been great friends. We could have.
Right.
It could have been.
Why do you think she did?
Because he wanted to. It's two things. One, I believe that he's an artist, that he's in love with love. And I'm telling you, when I say that, that's just the beginning. So,
Okay.
likes marriage, he doesn't want husbandry. The romanticizing of it. I mean,
The romantic side of being in love and being in marriage.
the chasing and having,
But the logistics he can't do.
doesn't really know all of yours.
He doesn't want like the everyday farts.
You know, no. He doesn't want the logistics of hustling for you. Like you said. He doesn't want to do it gets mundane for him. It's not exciting.
Exactly. It's like exciting.
Right.
Exciting.
He likes the sport. And catching, when he can.
And then it's also because I'd be like, I'm not for it. Like, I'd be out. I'm thinking, I guess in your mind, you're thinking,
Yes.
I'll, like, clank, I'm gonna lock her in.
Right.
Like, you don't understand, I'm not asleep. So even
Right.
with that, I still feel like, well, this is dumb.
And I was it's not, yeah.
So hold me. Yeah, it's not enough to hold me. And so there was that. I'm feeling some kind of way, but I'm hearing your story.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with you, so I'm getting you to that. And then I find out, and actually, I believe that one of his partners was like in this one woman. And I know that because I remember now, hindsight, when we had went to that Comic Con, she was there.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing her. She never like introduced herself to me. She was never like, oh, hey. Everybody else was like, da, da, da. And I remember her kind of just intentionally not.
Yeah, and it stood out.
Right?
And it stood out.
Spit out to me after the Saturday.
And then you were like, let's sleep with her. Yeah. And how did that happen to me too?
It's possible. I don't know. But I believe that she's messy and everything, but I think she's in love. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, yeah. So there's that. But then there's also she knows him. So what I find out in a nutshell, he's probably very, possible to roll this out in the other way. So it turns out that technically I was like year 6.
You was wife number 6.
Yes. Number 5 if you don't count her marriage, but y'all had a wedding, so
Right.
LG.
Oh my God.
So he's an habitual marriager?
6.
That's
He's legally married to wife number 2.
Oh.
Wow.
He's in another country, so I guess he felt like that didn't count. He divorced 3, divorced 4, 5 was technically a paperwork. Yeah, what was it?
Wow. So he collects them.
That's what I got. The wife of
He collects them. He's the wifeables. Collect those care. Collect those play. Was that what we're talking about here?
I don't want to show.
Oh my goodness. Were these trophies at the end of the day?
And then I saw like later, because he did interviews and stuff because of the work that he did and industry that he's in. And I saw an old interview that he talked about basically having a fortune. I could say.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Did he have?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
He had 2 other.
You didn't know?
I did know about his trip.
Okay.
I did know about his trip.
Mm.
And that's what I'm saying. I knew he had been divorced.
Yeah.
I knew he had been divorced before we got there.
Yeah, you didn't
Wow.
say that. Yeah.
Thinking about that. I didn't know how many, and I didn't know that he's still married to him.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't know that he had the wedding he said.
So you thought he wanted to just have kids with different women and have married. So he was based on some Elon Musk type thing, you really look at it.
Without the era.
Without the Elon money. And he was little Elon. He was broke Elon. He was Muskrat. That's what he was. I mean, wow, that's crazy at the end of the day.
So it was
There no red flags. There was nothing.
so it had first.
He was a great guy. That was another guy. He was a very good looking, great guy.
No, you don't mess with them fine people. I'm saying my husband is fine, but he's not like chiseled like we're here, but on and look. Yeah.
I don't know. Was that a backhanded compliment?
No, you are the kind of fine that is reliable, that I trust you. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like a brick. I
You
feel.
are brick of my heart.
Oh, well,
Yeah, the cornerstone.
I'm a big
You
cornerstone.
should say, yeah, the cornerstone.
I'm a cornerstone.
Built around the corner.
Oh, you guys really cleaned that up nice. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
You fine, but I know what she was doing.
You know what I'm saying? And a part of that is
Succeeded fine.
a part of that, and not even just, and then especially if you we didn't age well. I have a situation because different things that went through my father's world.
Yep.
But it bless his heart. Like I don't have any negative. Like this is just the story of what actually happened.
Yeah.
It's not so much about recording negative figures, it's like, well, should I not be able to tell that this is actually what happened to me?
Yeah.
This happens. You face the reality. I say that this happens, now mind you. But I started finding out a lot of this in pieces, so
Right. That's what I was wondering. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
In the world of mental health, what's the backstory? No, not on you, but on him. Do you know anything of his childhood or anything of his backstory that might aid him to what there brings rhyme and reason to why the outcomes would be this with women? And why?
There's a couple of things.
Okay.
I think that his relationship with mom.
I say the honey issue.
You know,
Okay.
European people tend to eat different experiences with their mothers.
True.
She was created a traipser, like, I'll be back. And so you speak, but then, so there was a lot of.
So he had an in-and-out connection.
And as a mention with his mom, a little in our city there. You will see her and I be like, I don't talk to them. No.
Okay.
I don't like them. I don't think he hits a shooting at those. And people like, I believe you.
Yeah.
Right.
To like say nothing to her at all. It's nuts. But that's it. Yeah.
Also, right.
She just literally went into this room and it was like a shrine to every amazing thing he had ever done. It was a wow.
Oh my
Wow.
God. He was like, fuck you, mom.
She had like that about
Really? Wow.
and everything that he had done. That's why I got to see. I told you I saw the pictures of for the dolls and I was just like, she just like stuff he did in college and like everything.
It sounds like he falls in love with love, but once love, he runs away. He's fearful.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Because you can't say
He's fearful. Yeah. He wants to feel love. He can love
I
too.
don't think he felt like love was safe.
Right. He doesn't grow on it. He doesn't. He's a new person. You know. He just went, okay, you love me. I can marry you. And, okay, I'm good.
Exactly.
And for some reason, something falls flat right there there's some type of disconnect of understand this is a relationship. You know,
Give and take.
it's a give and take, and it's a continuing process.
Immediately began to erode. Like as soon as he so we like I said, we get married, he goes, and again, this is still everybody finding out. And look, this is my life.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. And then we get back to LA, and it's like, okay, I'm thinking we're about to start like life. And it was still always something that he goes in. If we're not saving the Airbnbs, no longer Airbnb, has been start working there. We're just sort of figure out what we're going to do. Life is like this is real life. He had to go to work.
Right. Right.
And he did something very interesting that let me know that it was over. So we go out to the movies one night. He gets back home. It's like 2:00 in the morning, and he pulls in, and he's like, "That's what I'm having for fun." And I'm thinking, like, "Oh, that parking." He's like, "Yeah, I have to go see oldest fall wife number 5.
It's good. Wow.
I have to go see her house. She needs tucked." No one you watch.
Goodness.
And I was like, "Oh, like speaking your face."
Right.
It's like, you know, sometimes my daughter's there and blah 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 blah. I'm just like, that's so fun. You're
2:00 in the night.
like,
That's a big red button.
but then you can.
Right. It's doing daylight hours.
That's not something.
Between 9 and 5.
Don't understand. Yeah, and so I said, "No shame." So this is who I am, and it's just to this north because I say this to every G that asks anything other than this. I say, "Share runner." I said, "But you're runner."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Exactly.
It's important for me to treat out. This is not going to fare well, folks.
Right. This is a bad one.
Now, part of that was a test.
Yeah.
You want to see me spaz.
Right.
You want to see me like, I want to say, you want to get it. And I'm going to say, you're right.
Right.
Just know that this is not going to fare well for us. And I get out of the park, and I go us, and I go to sleep.
Right.
The next day, when we come back, I have really nothing to say. If I'm not asking you what you did or where you were or why so long or why'd you go, or I'm not asking you any of those questions.
I'll be so
In my
scared.
mind, I was thinking, okay. Then I find, and actually, hold on a second. might have been before that when I found out about placement of the two that they technically still married. And I was like, why are we having this conversation now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, she's in 70s of the country, and that's not, her family doesn't believe in divorce, and
Sounds trouble.
so then why are you asking me
Right.
to marry you
Handle your business.
Right. Right.
if you feel like
All this baggage.
it's just so much that
Yeah.
I didn't find out until, so that's why I say like it was fun and it was love bombing and it was whirlwinds of a story.
Right.
It was not fun
It was a nightmare.
as it was unraveling.
Incorrect.
And then he leaves to go take care of business. And it was just terrible. And at that point, we're not talking anymore. We're not. And I'm just like, is this really what I did? And so my brother has a trucking company. He's having issues. He doesn't have some drivers. He doesn't have trucks. And I'm like, I'm tired of working at the gym. And you know what? I'm going to go get my CEO. I will want to vote. His dude is done. I'm going to the road.
right.
So I do that.
You go pitch your CDO.
I go get my CEO.
What is your CDL?
It's basically a trucker's license.
The truck
Oh, wow.
license,
You're
yeah.
a trucker?
Yes.
That's
From going to the Southern California Health Institute
Yeah.
before. From becoming a singer in Baltimore
Yeah.
and making a name for herself out there and everything. By the way, she was in a convertible in California in a video fits there doing Jason Derulo videos. Okay.
I was not a participant in the video. I was the main character, but I wasn't like a video.
Okay.
If
Wait.
I was thinking, I'd be.
Check out the Get Ugly video. Check out the Get Ugly video. Jason
Shout out-
Derulo.
He sings, no.
Yeah, you gotta say it like that. You gotta say it like that. But that's amazing. Yeah, now you again your trucker's license, and now you're in the broke-up stage. You guys haven't had the child yet.
At this point, you haven't had it.
Right,
Right.
right. You're not pregnant, and just so people don't know, also, there's another factor we haven't made clear. Your ex and everything, is he African American?
No,
Mm.
he is Italian.
Okay.
He's Italian.
He's Italian. But that's the thing. People be like, look at Steve, because he was like a tan,
The darker tan.
Dark Italian.
and wore like locks.
Oh, he wore like lots and everything. Still like a Jason Momoa. Sorry, you had Aquaman? You was sitting with Aquaman? Is that what you said? Oh my goodness. Yeah, who believe Aquaman? Yeah, I remember that. I get it.
And then when I posted that picture, people was like, oh, this she is.
Wow. That's all right.
You got.
He lived in LA. Was in Venice?
Yeah, those type of guys always want to find a beach in Venice. Yeah, oh yeah.
When girls a kids
Yeah, they'll get you. Oh,
to be walking down, swinging it down.
wow. Oh, stop. You bad. You feel bad.
It was that.
Okay.
So yeah, I go on the road
Mm,
for my brother on the East Coast.
okay.
And at this point, we're talking sometimes, and he's apologizing, and you don't understand. And by yeah, he's 49.
Okay.
So, and we've gotten married.
Are you still married at this point with the season?
This is only months.
There's all this happened. Boom, 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 boom,
It's
boom.
all happening like
Wow.
quick.
Fast.
Awesome. So we got married in October. I started driving trucks in February.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when, like, literally everything was just happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard to wrap my head around it. Now my family knows. They don't know about all of them, but they know we're married.
They know you're married.
So I'm
Right.
just like,
So now you want to make it look good. You want to make it Instagram
Right for
beautiful.
wives.
I don't make I was trying.
Right.
So we're talking, that's the thing, and he's, spewing stories. And then I said, look, let's at least give out some fifth to me.
Yeah.
He's like, if I'm going to just do something nice for you.
Yeah.
I decided to throw him a party.
Mm-hmm.
Really? With all his wives or just? No, I'm joking.
Party at, I was going to do a party at my mom's.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
I got tickets to sing King Kong in LA because he loved King Kong.
Oh, nice. So you are sweet.
It's just been like over the course of the driving in the truck. It's hopped up.
A lot of thinking, a lot of separation, a lot of contemplating. Right. And you want to be with them. You want it to be right.
I wanted it to be right. I fell in love with them. The road alone, talking to
On the road again?
exactly, your baby.
Yeah, you fantasize.
You know what I'm saying? Yo. So basically, it was just a lot of that, trying to make it work. So I got a couple of things, got them tickets, got them a dinner, put together the trip, and the party. So this is very easy for me. Like, this will be 36. Yeah. In my mind, I was thinking, this is not us gonna be like together forever. You've done this. I don't hate you. I don't hold grudges. Well, even like I said, to this day, the guy who treated me terrible, like I could call him right now and he'd still be like, look. Because though I don't believe that people you ever love should be dispensable. Yeah. You should just like throw people away because they were terrible. Terrible in season. And mercy is a big thing. It's important to me. And I think there's only one love made from relationships. So that's important for me to say. So I love my man with the same love that I love my mother with, but the relationship is different. So it's going to play out different. Yeah. Right. Love my mama is, she likes tea in the morning. And if I'm staying at her house, I'm probably going to eat together. Yeah. Right. Well, whereas if I love you as my husband, you will be something else. If I love you as my friend, even though we can't be together, because that's basically what happened, the relationship. Yeah. But I loved you and I was for real about that. So it's your 50th birthday and I know you're by yourself and nobody else is going to do this. And I loved you enough to marry you. I'm going to do something nice for you. Even if I know you're going to go somewhere and I'm probably going to go to LA after I finish driving because I'm about this time to get a little bit. And so I did that. Nah.
You're so. Hey guys, if you guys enjoying the story that we're telling about Lenora King, and if you're checking out our episodes, I need you to go ahead to like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, get active in the chat, get active in the community. Let us know what other stories you guys want to hear. This has been presented and brought to you by Mom Well Care.
Brought to you by Mom Well Care Kit.